just how have you found the last 2 weeks of camp and your performances?
Sorry, what was the last bit?
And just talk about your performance in the 2 games as well.
Yeah, the 2 weeks have been good. It's always good fun coming back into camp. I think the couple of weeks we spent over in Chicago were good. It was just disappointing. We probably, as a team, couldn't get kind of the performance. Maybe the prep had given us a chance to put a good performance in, and we just didn't get that performance. But I suppose you can't get too bogged down by that. And then last week? Yeah, it was a good week. Like it was a tough game. They made it very tough, and I think we did a lot of hard work in the first half that maybe we were a pass or an error away from scoring, but that hard work kind of paid off in the second half. I think there was a lot of ball in play in that first half that kind of allowed the game to open up a bit in the second half. Yeah, personally, from my performances, probably a bit disappointed with the first game. Coming off the bench, you never really want to make a couple errors. It's tough to get into the game then, and it just kind of, against a quality side like that, it just gives them field position and just kind of allows them to play with the ball they want, turnover ball. And then last week, happy enough. As I said, like a lot of the work in the first half was very good from the lads in terms of kind of maybe wearing down the Japanese, and it allowed for the game to be a bit more open, which was probably made life easier for us substitutions.
Just for yourself, how beneficial has it been to come into this camp and work with Andy on a day-to-day basis again? Obviously you put a lot of faith in you last year, and then you're starting out half in the Six Nations, and I know Andy was in and around different stages, but you don't have that direct contact with him all the time. Just be back in here working with him on a day-to-day basis, having that direct line of communication again, does that help make everything kind of clearer and in your own head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Like I think now the coaches who were, Andy was away with the Lions in the Six Nations, and then even on the summer tour the coaches did a great job without him. But yeah, no, it's brilliant. Like I think anyone who's ever spoke about Andy has said how the brain he has for rugby is brilliant, and also his kind of emotional intelligence. So yeah, like any kind of conversations you can have about the game, whether it be mental or kind of strategic, is always beneficial for me as a player.
And what kind of conversations did you have with him coming into this camp about what he wants to see from you and expectations?
Yeah, like I think he just wants to see me playing with a bit of confidence and going and taking things on. It's not necessarily about being perfect, but it's about looking to do the right thing and not kind of putting restrictions on yourself. And I think, yeah, like I always find that refreshing, so it's good.
Thanks. John.
Sam, if you're starting a match, what do you do to relax beforehand?
What do I do to relax? What was the last game I started? Munster. I've actually been watching Fast and Furious, watching all those from the start, so started watching them on the way to South Africa, so that's actually what I've been kind of playing through. I think I'm on Fast and Furious 7 now, so I'm getting through them at a rate of knots, so that's kind of what I've been doing to relax, yeah.
Here's your headline, everyone.
Just the rotation between you and Jack, is that something you got to get used to? Is that just part of the rhythm of you both being in this squad at the moment, and how do you feel it's working?
Yeah, like I suppose if either of us are getting bogged down by the rotation over the last year, I suppose it's selfish, like as in we both say like that would be kind of, we're being selfish, so it's important. Just I think we both agree that it's important we both stay positive and both just try to contribute to the team as best as we can. I think, yeah, like I thought Jack has played very well the first 2 games, and like he started the season really well as well, so it's yeah, like I think we both get along very well, and we both kind of share the same ambition, so it's not that hard to get on. And but yeah, like as I said, like I think if either of us are getting bogged down about that kind of rotation, it's quite a selfish thing to do.
It's important to be selfish as well, you know, a bit veg for
yeah, I suppose it is, but in terms of if you're getting bogged down by it, it kind of is impacting your day to day. So, and impacting your day to day is probably stopping you from getting better as a player. So, yeah, that's what I'd probably answer to that one.
Keane.
On a similar note, Sam, like, were you disappointed not to have started the last 2 games, or how did you, when you look at how the messages were into you?
Yeah, like of course, like you always want to start, and you know, like I think there's like there's probably 5 or 6 fly halves in Ireland who want to start those games, and yeah, like it can be frustrating, but it's just about, as I said, not letting it eat you up, because kind of all you can really do is stay positive, kind of try to improve every day, and if you keep doing that, then kind of you hope the big picture things take care of themselves.
The fact that we're asking a question like that shows how far you've come in the space of the last year. After the summer, in particular after the summer tour, did you take time to sort of reflect, because a lot happened in the last season, did you take time to reflect on it and takeaways?
Yeah, I don't know how much. Yeah, like I would have reflected on it a bit, and we had a good pre-season in Leinster. Like I suppose I took kind of the first couple of weeks just trying not to think about rugby, and then getting into a little bit of training, and then like I thought it was quite a good approach, because I felt quite hungry then coming into Leinster, and I really enjoyed the pre-season. And it was I suppose the frustrating thing about that was that it didn't really translate on the pitch to start the season off. But yeah, like I don't know, I would have done a little bit of reflecting and just kind of looking back on games that I could maybe learn the most out of, and trying not to get kind of tripped up by the same things that tripped me up last year.
David Keane again last week. I assume the novelty of that will just never wear off. Is it as special as the first time you did it?
Yeah, and I think the coolest part about it is after the game, because I've said it before, but it's really hard to kind of to kind of think about it when you're in the lead up to a game, because one, you don't know when you're going to come on, if you're going to come on together, are you going to play together, so then and two, it's like I feel like it can, I'd say he'd agree with me that it can, if you think about it too much, it can become a distraction that you probably don't need. Like I think you actually need to just focus on your performance, and then when you're out there on the pitch with him, then it's pretty cool. Then it's kind of sinks in, and then after the final whistle goes, you're like, oh, that was pretty cool, and you go up and see kind of how happy it's made your family. And we had a nice dinner after. That's kind of the benefit of the early kickoff. We actually got to spend some time together as a family, and it was a pretty kind of special 24 hours.
McCarthy stealing your limelight.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks. Brendan?
Hi Sam. Do Ireland play differently with you at 10 to Jack? And by way of explanation, do Leinster play a bit different if it's you or Kieran or Harry? Like, how much influence does the out half have when there's somebody different in that shirt?
Yeah, like I suppose I'd say if you ask all of us that, I'd say all of us would say maybe a slight bit, because we all want to be ourselves. Like as in, no one's going out there to be, like as in, just say, so Johnny's played for Ireland and Leinster for so long. I don't think it's going to work if all of us are trying to be like Johnny, because we're not Johnny. Like as in, we have to try to be ourselves. And I think all of us would probably say that, yeah, we want kind of like, we're all coached and taught the same things, but we all kind of want to put our own flavour on it. And I think that's probably when each of us get the most out of the team.
Just on that then, I think Carter Gordon is the 7th player to play 10 for the Wallabies in 2025. How difficult does that make it to know what's coming at you at the weekend, given they've had so many people in such a good position?
Yeah, they've had a lot of rotation at 10, and I think a lot of them have done very well as well. Like I think, I'm not too sure like why there's been so much rotation. I know some of it's down to injury, but I think there's a lot of good players there, and a lot of, like I know Carter Gordon's just back from rugby league, and I know he kind of took a risk going to rugby league, and it maybe didn't work out because of injury, but it's it was a pretty cool move for him. I'd say he learned a lot, and I'd say he's coming back with kind of a fresh perspective, and I'd say he's excited to get going. And then there's also lads who've been with him for the last couple of months who are kind of trying to drive the team along. But yeah, it makes it a little bit harder, yeah, but it's also like, I suppose we know, like out halves kind of know that the more you can play, the better you can kind of become from learning week on week. And I suppose if there's that much rotation, maybe does that make it a bit harder? I'm not too sure. I still think that the little bit of freshness they add in at 10 can suit them at times as well.
Thanks. Last couple of questions. Michael, then Derek.
How are you, Sam? You told us that you did read Johnny's book there a while ago. What's it been like working with him, and have you picked up stuff straight away?
Yeah, and I suppose I'd say probably his strength was how quickly he picked up things, and I think it's quite cool to see how he like he's probably changed a lot. I did never got to really experience him as a player, but I'd say he changed a lot from being a player to a coach in terms of how he maybe messages things. But I have found it incredibly beneficial. I think all of us tens agree. Like I think from a kicking point of view, from a like attack, defence, even just from a mental point of view, I think he's probably one of the best to ever do it. So it's kind of just looking for his opinion on things and the way he kind of goes about things, but also his openness to kind of to learn as well, because he's probably thinking he needs to learn as a new coach, and I think that kind of openness he has is quite refreshing, and it's good to learn off.
Did you read Andy's book?
No, I didn't.
Derek, last.
Just some housekeeping, Sam. What are your parents' names? Your mother and your father?
Mark and Kira.
And you've played with Keane before, haven't you?
Yeah, Fiji, yeah.
Okay. And does he take the piss out of you, seeing as how he's unbeaten and you're not?
No, he doesn't. No.